Hey, I'm Coach Racquel, and this is Ask Coach, where real questions meet real growth. Because you are the expert, and I'm simply here to support you.
Each episode, we unpack life, business, and purpose. One calm, courageous conversation at a time. No hype, no fluff, just clarity, confidence, and a touch of grace. Ask boldly, live calmly, grow freely.
Hello, and welcome to Ask Coach. It's such a pleasure for me to be here with you today. Wow. Okay. All right. So, um, I just want to welcome you to the show, to the podcast. This is going to be a very brief podcast because with Ask Coach, I want to keep it under 5 minutes. All right. If it goes over, oh well, but we're trying. So, I just want to fix something right here. There we go. All right. So, welcome to Ask Coach, where we trade overwhelm for strategy and confusion for clarity. I'm Coach Racquel, your calm in the chaos, helping entrepreneurs, creatives, and change makers turn questions into breakthroughs. Here, we don't just talk business, we talk growth, the mindset, the money, and the moves that shape your next level. So, whatever you're facing today, breathe. Grab your notepad. Go get it. Go get it. And let's find your next best step together. And I would like to invite those of you who are listening, as I share the questions that I have each show, each episode. I invite you to also let us know what you do in these circumstances. Share your answers to the questions as well, because this is a community, the Calm Collective, and in this community, we support each other. So please know, and not only do we support each other, but our voices, each voice is as important as the next. Your voice is as important as mine, and mine is as important as yours. So I'm certainly looking forward to hearing from you. What is your advice to the person asking the question? All right. So please join me in the comment sections. Okay. So now let's get straight into the question for today. And this question came in under one of my Refresh, Relax, Renew podcast. And the topic for that podcast was, what trauma secrets are hiding in plain sight? Refresh, Relax, Renew podcast, episode 26. So, also, if you have questions that you'd like to share, or sorry, that you'd like to ask, you can easily go to mycoachministry.com/ask. Okay. And before I go into question, I just want to share this message. I just want to say to you that you are the expert. I'm simply here, or we as a community, the Calm Collective, we're simply here to support you. So thank you for tuning in. And also, I want to share a little bit about who I am, right? So I'm Coach Racquel, overall success coach, multi-award winning multimedia executive producer and editor, Cornell and Bank of America Women's Entrepreneurship alum, certified career coach. Let me see if I can find this. So I can share it with those who can see it. It makes it easier. Hang on. All right, here we go. So you can see. I just want to share a little of who I am so that we can have an understanding of who we're dealing with. Yeah. Yes. So overall success coach, certified career coach, Cornell and Bank of America Women's Entrepreneurship alum, published author, creative and communication consultant to governments, NGOs, FBOs, and entrepreneurs. And I'm also a multi award winning electronic executive producer and editor, as I said before. And you can find me at Linktree at My Coach Ministry, or go to mycoachministry.com. And this information is also scrolling at the bottom. So even if you don't see it at the top, it is at the bottom. And before we begin, before I share with you the question, there's this. I want to start with this quote, and I think I'm going to close with it as well, because I don't want us to forget. We're already over 5 minutes. So okay, let's keep going. All right. So the quote says, and this quote is from my wisdom wall. These are quotes that I wrote with the help of research or refining, sorry, because I have the quote and then I'll research to check it out, see what else is out there, or to get it refined. You know what I mean? But yeah, these are quotes that I wrote. If you don't feel empowered, I remember when I wrote this one. If you don't feel empowered, supported, and valued, it's not envy, hate, or the enemy. You're simply in the wrong environment. Heal, grow, and attract better right environment. Sometimes we waste energy naming enemies that don't exist. The truth is, when you consistently feel diminished, it's not always malice. It is misalignment. The soil you're planted in determines how well you grow. Shifting your environment can be the most powerful form of healing, because the right space doesn't just support you, it multiplies you. Heal yourself, grow into your wholeness, and you will naturally attract people and places that reflect, or who reflect, your value. Now, I share that because that sets the tone for the first question that I'll be addressing. And this is episode 12 of Ask Coach. Um, so I'm currently sharing the question on the screen that came in. And the reason I paired it with that quote is because we're talking about environment. So let me go straight ahead and read and share exactly what was asked of me. And I'm also going to share with you my response to the person. And then I'm going to be talking about the topic of the day that this question inspired. So thank you, at Layla Dreams 16. That is, so please go over and support Layla. It's at LAILADREAMZ16 on YouTube. It's also on the screen. Please support her. Subscribe to her channel. Reach out. Send her positive messages. All right. Wonderful. So at Layla Dreams 16. Thank you. Sorry, she wrote, "Thank you, Coach Racquel, for addressing the hidden layers of trauma with such honesty. Your emphasis on seeking therapy over burdening loved ones really hit home. How do you suggest starting the conversation with friends to set healthier boundaries?" Thank you so much. Sorry, let me just go straight and read my response. "I truly appreciate your participation in the Calm Collective. I'm honored that you asked. The first thing I like my clients and community members to understand is this: you are the expert, and I'm simply here to support you. This is important to me. My suggestion is to begin with self-reflection. Take a quick moment to think about what works for you, becoming clear on your boundaries so that you can be the first to honor them. When you honor yourself, you naturally become more mindful of others. I've found that people often mirror our energy more than we realize. So give what you wish to receive. If someone isn't reflecting what you're offering, try a self-corrective approach. Apologize for any moment when you may not have fully honored their boundaries. And within that same conversation, emphasize how important your own boundaries are. Take accountability first, then gently reaffirm your needs. I hope this helps. This is simply my approach. trust your instincts, and always do your best. So that was my full response to the question. Now, having gone to explore it more, I'm using the question now for this episode, and the topic that that I'm giving this one is set boundaries, not fires. And the subheading for that is 10 evidence backed ways to start the talk without guilt, fear, or fallout. Remember, we're talking about environment. What the this viewer is really asking is, how do I disrupt my current environment in order to rearrange it in my favor? Right? It is environment, and how empowered you feel is based on who you have in your environment. So, anyways, sometimes the hardest conversations are the ones that. Ooh, I'm sorry about that. Sometimes the hardest conversations are the ones that protect our peace. Setting boundaries isn't about building walls. It's about building wisdom. It's learning how to say this matters to me without setting the relationship on fire. The research is clear. When communication is calm, specific, and compassionate, boundaries actually strengthen trust instead of breaking it. And I also want to say this, right? The people who love you, I'm going to go over to the evidence backed 10 evidence backed ways to do it. But before I even go there, this is something that's important to me that I want to share, because one of the things that for me that um, I'd say about the past 5 years ago, one of the challenge I used to have is I used to struggle with how do I get someone to hear me and understand that I'm not trying to hurt you. I just want you to hear me. And I remember being in relationships where I'm trying different ways to say something, but it was like I did not have the language the person needed in order to understand me. And what I learned was I do my best, but sometimes there's some environments that you just need to evacuate. You just need to migrate from it. You just need to leave. You just need to disappear. Because what I've now learned is when someone values you, when you are wanted, when you're loved, people hear the you in the mess, so to speak. The people who care for you are not hung up on the mistakes you're making. They say that love covers a multitude of sin. That's what they say, right? I will say that word love is trips me up all the time. So that's why I'm hesitating. Like, okay, when someone truly, truly cares for you, even before you speak, they'll know if something's wrong. And so by the time you get ready to speak or try to talk, there will be an open heart for you. Because even with our training and with our best efforts sometimes, and with the fact that we're talking to somebody completely different, what may be calm to me may not be calm to you. So even with our best efforts sometimes, when we try to say the right thing the best way we know how, the wrong person can still misinterpret us. So I just want to preface what I'm about to share with this. Know when it's time to evacuate. Know when the environment is also not healthy for you. Yes? Yes. So now let's go over to, and I wanted to share this. So let me share my screen. I went to chat GPT, and I'm going to share it with you because I just wanted to get the information, to get those evidence-based All right, so here we are, and you can see it on the screen because I'm sharing it. All right, so the question that I put into ChatGPT was, please do a deep dive and get me the top 10 most effective ways to start a boundary setting discussion with loved ones and people with whom we may be scared to lose benefits. And here are the 10 that ChatGPT got for me with starter lines plus receipts. So, number, sorry. So, oh, I'm so sorry about that. So, number one, open with consent plus a soft start. Why? Harsh openings spike defensiveness. Soft startups predict better outcomes in conflict talks. In couples research, the first 3 minutes strongly predict how a discussion goes. Aim for calm, not court. Number two, so I gave an example here. Try, is now okay for a quick, calm chat about something important to me? I want this to go well for both of us. That's number one. So, number two, lead with I language, not you blame. Why? I statements are rated as less likely to provoke defensiveness than you statements. Try, when plans change last minute, I feel anxious because I need predictability. I'd like us to set a cutoff time for changes. That's an example. Number three, use NVC's four-part formula: observe, feel, need, request. Why? Nonviolent communication reduces blame, improves listening, and increases cooperation. Try. When calls come after 10 p.m., observe. I feel wired. Feel. Because rest matters for me. Need. Could we keep calls before 9 p.m.? Request. Number four, try DBTs. Dear man, when you must ask for a change. Why? This step by step assertiveness skill increases the odds of getting needs met without escalating conflict. Try, describe, express, assert. Weekends are my recharge time. I feel drained doing errands then, request. Let's plan errands for weekdays. Reinforce. I'll have more energy for family time. Number five, give feedback with SBI, situation, behavior, impact. Then invite dialogue. Why? The Center for Creative Leadership's model improves clarity and lowers defensiveness by sticking to facts and impact. Try. Yesterday at dinner, situation, when the joke was about my weight, behavior. I felt embarrassed, impact. Could we skip jokes about bodies? Number six, use MIs, ors to draw them in. Great when you fear losing support. Why? Motivational interviewings, open questions, affirmations, reflective listening, summary increases engagement and reduces resistance. Try open queue. How do you see us keeping each other's space? Affirm. I appreciate how much you show up. You show up. Reflect. So reliability matters to you. So reliability matters to you too. Summary. Ask. Can we try quiet hours after 9? Number seven, keep it BIFF in text, email with high conflict folks. Why brief, informative, friendly, firm messages reduce spirals and keep boundaries enforceable. Try. Thanks for checking in. I'm available Saturdays 10 to 12 for help. If that works, great. Otherwise, let's revisit next month. Number 8. Frame it as mutual gains. Harvard negotiation. Why? Focusing on interests, not positions, and inventing options for mutual gain makes people less defensive, especially when you rely on them and fear losing benefits. Try. I want to keep our closeness and protect my work hours? What schedule would meet your what schedule would meet your need for support and my need for focus? Number 9, name the boundary and the sustainable consequence kindly. Why? Healthy boundaries reduce burnout and protect relationships over time. Consequences keep the boundary real without punishing. Try. I won't be able to loan money this month. If requests come up, I'll point to this message and we can revisit next quarter. Number 10 and last, if emotions spike, pause. Physiological cool down. Then resume. Why? When people are flooded, problem solving tanks. A 20-minute break helps the body reset. Set a time to return so it's a pause, not avoidance. Try. I want to do this well. Can we take 20 minutes and come back at 7:30? How was that for you? Did you find any useful information there? I think those were some really, really good suggestions um, for starting that conversation, because it is very, very important that you do the work to maintain a healthy environment. You want to remain in a healthy environment, and creating, sustaining, and managing those boundaries are really, really important to us having a healthy environment. And so I think that was an excellent question. I think the that question and my sharing it this way really allows for more persons to be able to benefit from the answers. And that's my hope, right? And I just want to go ahead and share this. So, when you're afraid of losing benefits, because the truth of the matter is, the reason this is so important is because we don't want we're not necessarily looking to lose benefits. And when I say benefits, I'm not just talking about job benefits, but also we have friendships sometimes that we're not necessarily trying to break. We just want to make sure that we all who are involved in the relationship can all have a good experience. There is no what's the point of some persons being happy but other persons struggling? That's not a community, right? A community is where we all get to thrive, right? So there is that. um I'm not trying to push you away, so I'm taking interest, because for this person to ask this question, it's because they care. People do not implement boundaries because they don't care. You implement boundaries because you care. And I think it's commendable when you start asking questions, seeking help, because we don't all have the answers. See, I gave my answer, but then I came and I did some more research. And I'm sure when she watches this episode, she'll get more on what I've already said, because even I too wanted to learn some more about it. And boundaries is something that over the last 3.5 years has been very important to me. That was really when I really sat down, explore myself to learn, okay, what's important to me? How do I want people to relate to me? And then setting boundaries. And then I had to have these talks. I had to and there were some relationships where I had to have the talk like 5, 10 times, and now we're exactly where I wanted us to be. So it works. You know what I mean? So when you're afraid of losing benefits, be it um, emotional support, money, housing, childcare connections, a job, favor, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, say the value out loud. I truly value the support you give me, and I want us to keep it sustainable. Say it to them. Yeah, offer options, provide two workable alternatives. So, no has a softer landing. Interests, options for mutual gain. You know, one of the things I also think about, and I discussed this in the podcast, where I want to be proactive with the people I care about, which is why I vet myself before going to them. And that's because I have my own boundaries that I want to protect. And when you understand your own boundaries and you seek to protect your own boundaries, you develop a new kind of respect for someone else's boundaries. And so you start acting in anticipation of respecting and honoring their boundaries. And when people see that you are respecting them, unless it's somebody who really doesn't like you, they will respect you back. And even the person who doesn't like you, when you demonstrate respect, will respect you back. You know what I mean? So start small, then scale. And if it requires more work, because some people might require more work than some. Like I said, one of my closest friends right now, who's also a client of mine, I had to go through the process of repeating over and over. There were some times when it was very testy. I was like, how many times do I need to say this? And then there are other times where I was like, you know what? I know that I've been asking a lot of you. We were close before. You used to be able to call me just about any time. And I remember one day I was having the conversation and I'm like, you know what? I shifted on you. I'm sorry. Here's why I had to shift. I had to, because I was realizing that, you know what, as much as what I'm doing is in my best interest, the other person was destabilized because of the choice that I made to protect myself. No, it is important to protect myself, but I wasn't trying to destabilize anybody. And so when I realized that that is actually happening, and the reason the person becomes destabilized is because they too care about me. Even though they were doing something that was not working for me, they cared about me. They wanted me in their life. They wanted to be a healthy place in my life. They're not expecting that my experience with them is a negative one. You know what I mean? So when I started applying my boundaries, I realized, and I didn't realize right away, it was that the multiple conversation. I remember there are times I'm like, I would say, like, how many times do I need to say this? And then, afterwards I'd sit there and I'm like, oh my gosh, this person is feeling like, and I remember I had to go back and say, you had full access. And then I've gone and cut your access off. You need time. And I also remember saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give some transitional times, okay? You can call me so and so and so. I'm going to allow you this. And then we're going to, so for example, I could say you could call me in the mornings for the next week. And then the week after that, on the midday. And then the week after that, like, I had to do that, kind of wean them off, because before I did not have that boundary. So what they were used to was a free for all. And then that changed. I switched up on them. And I had to allow them time to steady themselves in the relationship before I could just move on my merry way. So why am I saying that? I'm saying that to say, remember that everyone is not necessarily at the place of growth that you are, and even if they were, they still would not know what your process is. So you're introducing something new to them. So not only do we need to wait for them to hear and understand what we say, but we may have to give them some transitional time. You have to give them time to adjust to the new, right? So you'll have to bear with them, and you may have to work with them to help them get there. And oh my gosh, this has happened in so many of my relationships. And I'll tell you this, right? And then we're going to close. It is one of the most rewarding thing when you work with someone who equally wants to be in your life, and you walk with them through the changes that you are implementing in order for your life to be better. And when that person works with you and takes the time to understand and listen to you and understand and then honor you, it's one of the most beautiful things that could happen in a relationship, because then the relationship gets to evolve. The relationship gets to grow and blossom and bear fruit, because we're not supposed to be at the same place all the time. We're not supposed to be at the same place all the time. So, and when you're going to make the conversation, be mind when you're going to introduce the conversation, Consider the other person. Don't just do it on your time. Do it at a mutually agreed time. You know what I mean? Like, just consider them. Consider their where they're at in their mindset. That if you see the person flustered or whatever, that may not be the best time to talk to them about another change. So be thoughtful of them as you do it. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just want to say thank you to at Layla Dreams 16 on YouTube. And now we're going to close the show. Oh my God, this has been so inspiring, even for me. This was lovely. This was absolutely lovely. So, I just want to say that if you have questions, let's talk about it. Submit your questions at mycoachministry.com/ask. Ask boldly, live calmly, and let's grow freely. Okay? And don't forget, you're the expert. I'm simply here to support you. All right? That's why we're here. Okay, so if today's conversation gave you clarity, confidence, or calm, please share it with someone who needs it. Share it with the person you want to have the conversation with as a prep. Don't without even telling them, or you can also tell them, hey, I have something I'd like to share with you because I'd like for us to have a conversation thereafter. You know what I mean? Or not. Just listen. I'm a strategic person. If I want, let's say I want something to change, I may send this video to someone in April, but I really want to start having the conversation like 3 months later. But you kind of do different things, take different steps to get them to where they can handle the conversation, because you have to know who you're talking with and what preparation they may need in order for them to truly sit with you and for you to get the best out of them when you're having such conversations, right? So remember, every great result begins with one brave question and the courage to ask it. For more tools, insights, and community support, visit mycoachministry.com and join the Calm Collective. Until next time, keep asking bold questions, setting strong boundaries, and building your life like a CEO, like a boss. I am Coach Racquel, and this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me today. Goodbye. Hey, I'm Coach Racquel, and this is Ask Coach, where real questions meet real growth. Because you are the expert, and I'm simply here to support you.
Each episode, we unpack life, business, and purpose. One calm, courageous conversation at a time. No hype, no fluff, just clarity, confidence, and a touch of grace. Ask boldly, live calmly, grow freely.